Students, today I would like to discuss Tales from Shakespeare. You know, William Shakespeare, the British poet playwright, wrote a number of plays, tragedies, comedies, or tragicomedy, and Shakespeare is also known as one of the outstanding English sonneteers. So Shakespeare, the poet playwright, was born in England in Stratford-on-Avon on 23rd of April 1564, and he died in the year 1616. His father's name is John Shakespeare, while his mother was Mary Arden. Shakespeare wrote about 37 plays, of which there are some comedies, some are tragedies, and some are tragicomedies. Shakespeare wrote about 154 sonnets. There are two long narrative poems, Venus and Adonis and The Rape of Lucrece. That's all about the literary output of William Shakespeare. Today, I would like to confine my discussion to Tales from Shakespeare. You know, at the request of William Godwin, the friend of Charles Lamb. Charles Lamb, in collaboration with his elder sister Mary Lamb, narrated the stories from the plays of William Shakespeare, and in the year 1807 they jointly published Tales from Shakespeare. There are about 20 stories that are known as the Tales from Shakespeare. Macbeth, Othello, Hamlet, King Lear. These are the important or the mature tragedies, while we come across the comedies like As You Like It, Twelfth Night, The Comedy of Errors, etc. So today I would like to discuss Shakespeare's play, that is a story from Shakespeare's drama narrated by Charles Lamb and Mary Lamb. But we should remember that while Charles Lamb narrated the stories of tragedies, Shakespeare's tragedies, Mary Lamb narrated the comedies of William Shakespeare. So Mary Lamb is credited with the stories from Shakespeare's comedies. Today I would like to continue my discussion on As You Like It. You know, As You Like It is a romantic comedy. What is comedy? Comedy is a play in which we find the maximum amount of laughter throughout the action of the story, and at the time of at the end of the comedy we find the happy ending or the reconciliation or the reunion between the lost child, lost children, father, and there is also the happy ending that comedy ends with the reunion of the marriage there. So here in this story we come across there are four couples of marriages. So let's read the story As You Like It by Charles Lamb or Mary Lamb. Many years ago, so once upon a time, you know, France was divided into provinces or dukedoms. Over one such province ruled Duke Frederick, a usurper. Usurper is a person who takes away the property by force or by fraud. So here, this is the story of a sibling rivalry. Here you see that there is the rivalry between two brothers, the senior duke and the junior duke. Here the senior duke was banished from the court, and along with the senior duke, a number of his faithful followers also set out a journey from the court to the wood. Here you remember that Rosalind is also banished along with her father. Rosalind is the daughter of the senior duke, and the cousin of Rosalind is Celia. But Celia and Rosalind were brought up just like inseparable companions as Junot Swan. Now let's continue our reading as you like it. The old banished duke fled to the forest of Arden. So the setting of the story is the forest of Arden. Jacques, Amiens and a few faithful followers, few faithful noblemen followed the senior duke to the forest of Arden. As the tyrannies of the usurper grew, more and more noblemen left the court and joined the noble old duke. So here the noble old duke refers to the senior duke, and the tyranny refers to the tyranny of the Duke Junior. As they led a free and easy life, away from the pomp and show and malice of the court, the old duke bore the hardship of the forest. So forest is the dwelling place of the banished duke, and here the banished duke takes nature as the book or the veritable ground of the learning place. And the Duke Senior says that sweet are the uses of adversity. So what is adversity? Adversity provides the opportunities to learn something in the times of crisis, in the times of hardship. So here in the midst of nature, in the lap of the forest of Arden, the Duke, accompanied by his followers, come to know that nature is the veritable ground where we can learn many things. The banished Duke had only one child. What's the name of the child? Rosalind. When the Duke was exiled, Rosalind was kept back at the palace by Duke Frederick. The name of the younger Duke is Duke Frederick. Though the fathers were bitter enemies, the two girls grew up to be firm friends. So, as we see that there is a bitter enmity between the fathers, but there is close bonding of the two cousins, Celia and Rosalind. There is no any trace of any enmity in the friendship between Rosalind and Celia. They spent their childhood. They mean the two daughters, Celia and Rosalind, spent their childhood doing everything together. So there is a close bonding between the two cousins. They used to eat, play, sleep, and learn together. And so they are compared to the Junot Swan as inseparable. Whenever thoughts of her banished father, the banished father here is obviously Duke Senior. One day Rosalind was in low spirit. Old Celia's attempts to cheer her were unsuccessful. Just then a messenger came from Duke Frederick, asking them if they wish to watch a wrestling match. So wrestling match is an interesting event in this story. The wrestling match is between the two wrestlers. Here we come to know that the powerful court wrestler is Charles and a young challenger, Orlando. Who is Orlando? You know, Orlando and Oliver are the two sons of Sir Rowland de Boys, a faithful nobleman. Hoping that it would amuse her cousin, Celia persuaded Rosalind to accompany her to the match. What is the match referred to here? This is the wrestling match between two unequal wrestlers. One Charles the Court wrestler, experienced wrestler, and the inexperienced wrestler Orlando. So here the wrestling match begins. The Duke, on seeing the girls, asked them to persuade the young challenger. Who is the young challenger? Here the young challenger refers to Orlando, to give up the unequal fights. However, their request fell on deaf ear, so they did not pay heed to the warning that it is an uncommon wrestling match. Orlando, thanking them for their kindness, expressed his determination to go ahead with the match, saying, "Let your eyes and gentle wishes go with me to my trial." Orlando was the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys. Sir Roland de Boys, I told you, is a faithful follower of the old view, who was banished in the forest of Arles. Orlando's elder brother, Oliver had been charged under his father's will to bring up and educate for him for his role in life, but Oliver hated him. Oliver and Orlando did not have any good relation. His brother's attitude had made Orlando to take up the challenge of fighting the most powerful wrestler in the locality. He hoped either to be killed or to make a fortune by winning the match. The wrestling match began. Celia prayed that young Orlando would not be hurt, but Rosalind felt the most for him. His unhappiness and friendless state was like her, and it could be said she had fallen in love with him. So love is the common theme of this story. There is a number of love affairs. For example, we see that love affairs between Rosalind and Orlando, and Oliver and Celia. So as there is a theme of love, so this is called romantic comedy. The concern of the ladies gave courage and strength to Orlando. He overthrew Charles. This pleased the Duke, but when he discovered that Orlando was Sir Roland de Boys' son, his displeasure knew no bounds. He ordered Orlando to leave the court immediately. "Get out from the court at once," ordered the Duke. Both Celia and Rosalind saw the change which had come over the Duke, Jr. Once he learned that Orlando was, their sympathy for Orlando increased. Rosalind, in fact, was delighted to know that Orlando was the son of her father's old friend. So here we see that the story moves forward, and here we come to know that the lady takes interest. Her lady means Rosalind takes interest in Orlando. After Frederick left, Rosalind and Celia went to speak to Orlando. Rosalind took off her chain and before leaving clasped it around the neck of Orlando. So this was the love token that was a gift offered by Rosalind to Orlando. Saying, Orlando said, "Were this for me, I would have given you more had I the means to do so." Celia was surprised by Rosalind's uncharacteristic gesture. Once they were alone, she asked, "Is it possible that you have fallen in love so suddenly with a stranger? So suddenly, here we come to know the concept of the love at first sight. You know, Shakespeare is a master of the introduction with various attitudes to love. So here in this play we see, in this story, we see that love at first sight. And there is also another concept of love, that is love arrived at. The Duke, my father, loved his father, replied Rosalind. Does that mean you should love his son? Questioned Celia. My father hated him, and so I should hate him, but I do not hate Orlando, she said. While the two were talking of Orlando, Duke Frederick entered their room. He was in a great fury. Great fury. Fury means angry. So Orlando's victory had reminded him of the banished Duke. For some time now, he had been unhappy with Rosalind because the people loved and praised her. Her presence in the court, her court means the palace of the king or the duke, reminded the people of her banished father, and they pitied her. As a result, Frederick's displeasure with Orlando extended towards his niece too. Her niece means Celia. He ordered her to leave the court. Then we see that there is a journey of the two daughters, the two women, two ladies, Rosalind and Celia. Rosalind took the disguise of Ganymede, with the name of Ganymede, while Celia took the assumed name Eliana. So, under the disguise of two shepherds, they set out their journey from the court to the wood in order to meet the banished duke and a number of faithful followers. So this is the story, opening episode of the story As You Like It by William Shakespeare, and the story narrated by Mary Lamb, as this is the comedy. So obviously we come to know that the comedy of Shakespeare were narrated by Mary Lamb. That's all for today. Thank you.